Hey, come on, Mom. This isn't even the worst kind of pirate Dad's ever been.
Hello, Internets! I'm Joe.
I'm Eric.
And I'm playing with the internet.
And you're listening to Just Cool Enough. And you know what? Don't trust that bee in apartment 23. She's feisty and she's always lying. She's untrustworthy. But in the end, she's a hoot, and you like her as a character.
That bee in apartment 23.
Yeah, I completely forgot about this show because I've literally spent all day in bed watching Don't Trust the Bitch in Apartment 23 on Netflix because it has the first two seasons on. That show is really good, guys.
Okay, so hold on. Because I remember seeing a preview for that and thinking, maybe I'll watch that show, and then I never thought about it again. What?
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. Like the title seemed stupid, and then I was like, I don't know what's going on. It's just about this girl who's a bitch, and it's got James Van Der Beek in it for no reason. That seems stupid. But then I watched it because on a friend's recommendation, basically telling me it's basically a live-action cartoon, which is a great description because it's got Catherine Ritter, who is hilarious.
Who's basically a cartoon character already.
Yeah, she's basically like that show's Peter Griffin or Homer Simpson. Like, she never changes. She's always horrible, but you kind of like her. It always seems like she's about to have some character growth. You're like, oh no, she's not. She's the same person she's always been and terrible. And I don't know why it fooled me, but it did. There's a lot of really great characters. James Van Der Beek plays James Van Der Beek, and it's hilarious.
I wonder how did he have to did they have to submit one of those roles in order for him to try to get his own part for himself? Like, we have to see if you can actually be yourself.
They probably wrote a generic celebrity, of his caliber, and he said yes. He was probably the first one they asked, I imagine, but maybe there was others. But they have there was a cameo from Dean Cain and Kevin Sorbo, and they play themselves and stuff like that. And
I can't. What was she in? I'm going through her IMDb.
She was on. She was in the second season of Breaking Bad. She was Jesse's girlfriend.
Oh, no wonder. Okay,
yeah. Cool.
That's where I feel like I have a connection with this girl, and that's because she was in Breaking Bad, and that show changed my life.
She was also in the movie She's Out of Your League. She was the best friend to the girl who was out of What's-His-Face's league. So.
Story of my life. So, now that we have those
you guys should look it up. Now that it's canceled, it's all on Netflix, so you can just watch it.
That's when the good stuff happens.
It's one of those shows, I didn't realize... I hate that when I didn't realize a show was good. No one told me it was good until it's too late.
That's what happened to Family Guy.
No, I mean, I watched Family Guy since day one.
But I'm saying, it got taken off air, and then it got picked back up, and then it became a humongous hit. And it took the DVD releases. But now, Netflix is, the DVD release of things.
Maybe, but I don't think this is going to get picked up, which it sucks, because I'm really enjoying the crap out of it right now.
You know what I'm actually enjoying the crap out of? I was going to say shit, but I didn't want to swear. I'm really enjoying Dexter. I've just got into it, and... I'm on season 6, midway through it.
Which character is that?
It's the priest and the other guy and the
Stop watching when that finishes.
Okay.
That's the best advice I can give you right now. Is that once that season ends, stop watching because it doesn't get any better.
See,
it gets progressively more terrible as it goes to the very end when you're like, fuck this show and everything it stands for. So stop watching at the season finale.
Isn't it end? Isn't it over now? Or
there's one season left that you have to catch up on, and it's horrible. It's horrible from start to finish, and don't watch it.
What? Okay, I'm not even going to repeat that because someone I love and care about is in this room, and I don't want her to know these.
I was going to say,
secrets.
I'm not there. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because someone I love and care about.
I'm just telling you it's horrible, and the ending is shit.
Well, I'm not trying to spoil.
That's like having sex with Joe.
Mm-hmm. So
it starts off great, but then
she's apparently into you, so maybe she'll be really into Dexter. Dexter season 8 will be her favorite, apparently.
Well, I'm not at the end yet. I'm still peaking.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? No, I peaked a while back. It's all downhill. Let's be honest. Oh gosh, the only peak I have left is a widow's peak right here.
It's not a widow's peak. That's balding. That's male pattern
That's
balding.
that's balding. God damn it, Ike! Why haven't you read emails yet?
I can. We have people that responded to our Facebook post about reading emails, and they sent us emails.
That is good.
I feel like I feel like a black and white night tonight, a little film noir. Anyway, this is Savor This from Jack Move. He said, I, Jack Move, am the anti-savior. Good evening, gentlemen. Joe, Eric.
Well,
Mike?
Joe will look up and shout, email us, and Jack Move will look down and say, no.
It is I, Jack Move. I've come to not only be the saving grace of this podcast, but to announce the upcoming arrival of my genetic spawn. Anti-Physics Baby is coming this year.
Wait, is Jack Move having a baby?
Well, let's not spoil it. We'll
let me read the email. I'm
Sorry.
He, she will defy gravity. He, she will send you shittier emails than I will. He, she will destroy the earth. He, she will rally against the rail against the unemployed of the unemployment of a certain host of this show. He, she will be fat and call another host tubby as fuck. He, she will ask to get Ike's silly book in the mail, and then will add it and pass it along to another good citizen. Anti-fetus, not always evil.
Can I just say that I am upset that you're already putting gender roles on this baby, that somehow, it's disgusting that you're saying it's already going to be a he, she. You know, you haven't let the baby decide for itself what it is.
Yeah,
you know?
it could.
What if it's a dolphin? What if the baby realizes that it was born...
a robot.
Yeah, that it should have been born as a dolphin, and that's what it wants to be.
I think you should always, like, I'm sick of people imposing gender roles onto babies. I think the baby, this is the way
it's got to play baseball. It's a little girl.
Right.
It's got to be princess.
This is why what you do.
It's going to have both male and female genitalia, so it's going to start activia commercials.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, like, when you have the baby, you just toss the baby up in the air, and wherever it wants to land, like if it wants to land on like a blue, then that's what you paint its room. You paint it blue. If it lands in pink.
My parents raised me in a somewhat progressive manner. I mean, they didn't censor what I watched on TV. They didn't push anything on me, which is why I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do with my life. Living at home, well into my 20s, almost 30s, with no discernible skills whatsoever and no chance at employment. You know, and I found that out for myself. I didn't have anyone impose that on me. I'm a self-made man.
I think if you should throw it genitals first at a spike and let the spike determine whether or not it'll be male or female.
Hey, it worked in Canada. That kid who they fucked up his circumcision and then decided to cut off his dick entirely and make him a lady.
Is this a segue? Sure, what the hell?
Sure, he grew. No, this is like it was like in the 70s or something. Like they tried to. They're like, well, we'll just cut off his penis and tell him he was a girl the entire time. And then they like put him in dresses and they're like, shut up, you're a girl. He's like, but I'm pretty sure I think I'm a boy. And then like when he became an adult, the doctor's like, oh, by the way, you used to have a penis, but we cut it off on accident and told you were a girl.
Oh,
that might be why you've had this gender identity problem your whole life. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, that's awful. I like the spike decide method though. Throw the baby in the spike, let the spike decide what gender the baby is.
We have to do it carefully and make sure it's genitals first, because if it gets flipped over and goes head first out of the spike, it doesn't matter what gender it is at that point.
Congratulations, Jack Move. Come to us for all your baby advice.
Anyway, he goes on to actually say he is in fact having a kid.
Oh, that's great. He's having an anti-physics baby. This baby is the singularity or something.
Yeah, no, we're proud. The one question I think I can speak for all of us in asking is, what's sex like? We don't know.
I want the baby to be named after me somehow. So, if you name your baby Joe, I mean, Joe's like a unisex name. Eric is not. Ike is not. You know, Joe, you could go Joe.
Yeah, But you could slap an A on it, and then you could make it Erica, or you could,
Michelle, Michael.
No. Joe works on both sides. And think of it. If you have a girl named Joe, she's either going to be extremely good looking or she's going to be really good at sports. There's no in between with a girl named Joe. And if you have a guy named Joe, he's going to be extremely handsome, dashing, smart, resilient, sensitive.
What happened to you?
Or if this
is all accurate.
And they botched.
You're like, no, this is accurate. I was born, actually, my name was Philip, and I changed it.
But that's what I'm saying. So Joe, I think, is actually the perfect name for male or female children. Or issues.
And if it's a male and they botch the circumcision, it still works as a female. And then when he grows up into a male again, at least it will still work. It can go back to like, it was actually Joe, the guy, but we botched your circumcision.
See, that's my biggest fear. That's why I was glad I was born without discernible genitalia, so they couldn't botch any operation.
Do we cut off the end? I don't know.
Do we cut it off or tuck it in? What do we do?
Yeah, it's.
That explains so much.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this is why my relationships fail constantly.
Can I just rub against you? I'm not sure what to do.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's a mess down there. You could try and figure it out, but others have failed doing it. So,
you make it pregnant, I get pregnant. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Smarter people than me have just lost their minds messing with it. So I don't have at it.
Eric's going to get a physical or something. Doctors just look at it and go, oh.
No, that's why I don't have health insurance. Not because I can't afford it or I don't have a job. Just I was tired of every time I go in there, they have to be like, hey Jim, can you come in? Like suddenly, like everyone's like, guys, you gotta come in and see this. And I'm like, can everybody like
have him turn his head and cough, or do I use the speculum?
Yeah. Can I just get my flu shot, please?
Cough and turn for me.
As they grab the speculum and grab his balls, I don't know. It's
like I can't really do that while I'm in these stirrups. I
don't. Anyway, Jack Move goes on to say, I'm stuck at work. I've had 3 days off in the past 2 months. Max Speed better have an episode soon. God damn it. Defy me and I'll send the anti-fetus and Doom to you. Nowhere really bad, just really, really boring. Say Michigan. Nice to hear from you guys. Hope you had a happy holidays and a great new year. Because holy shit, this year is going to be fucking balls to the wall. Extremely extreme, not so extreme, sort of medium actually, Jack Move. Love and kisses, except for you, Joe, and Eric, and Ike, and Max, and Kay, and Hiko. TB is a cunt. So is Mike Schramm.
What?
Soon to be a father, already a man, not nearly a regular emailer, but still a subscriber. $2. What the fuck are you going to do with that? Buy a Snickers? Anyways, a faithful listener, unless Eric or Joe are talking. Yours in space and time and Raspberry Jam, Jack Move. Sent from the future.
So he's not actually having a kid. Like, he will have a kid someday in the future, but because it hasn't happened, like, is causality, now that he's sent a message back into the past to talk to him, is it going to fuck up? Like, I don't understand causality enough to know, like, did he ruin his future? Is now, he was supposed to have this beautiful baby girl, and now he's going to have basically Joe. Is he going back into the past and actually having the three of us? Like, I don't know. Is this Terminator 1 all over again, or is this...
Well, we've already, in past shows, we've figured out that Jack Move is actually your dad already, Eric.
No, he's my mom. See,
he's your mom. That's what it is.
This is, I don't understand. Like I watched Primer, and I couldn't keep up, so I don't know causality as well as this. Like, is this Primer? Is this? I
watched Butterfly Effect, and I could barely keep up. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
is this Time Bandits? I don't know. What are we dealing with here, Jack Move? We need more. Info.
More details. Maybe in our next email, more details can be, brought to fruition.
Fruition?
Speaking of other emails.
This is from Hotesh. He says, stupid things. Hey guys, so it's the middle of summer.
I thought that was. I didn't read that's what it's titled at first.
You thought you
says, I don't know, some stupid shit. Anyways,
my name's Ike, and I hate hot air.
He says stupid things. Moving on. So it's in the middle of the summer down under, and as an attempt to escape the heat, a couple of my mates said it would be a good idea to go ice skating. It was the first time in close to 5 years I've had a set of skates on, but it was pretty easy to get back into it. In no time, I was zipping around the rink. Just as we were getting ready to leave, I do a couple last laps. Tripped, hit the deck hard.
Oh.
I've got an internal bruising on my right elbow and shoulder, and I'm off to the doctor's this morning to get an x-ray for a possible cracked rib.
Oh my gosh!
What a great way to start 2014. What's something stupid you've done, though it was a good idea to begin with, but just ended up you ended up fucking yourself up?
I mean, we've covered multiple times that my ankle does that.
God damn it! Don't do that!
Because I jumped out of a second-story window 8 times. The 8th time's the charm, and by charm I mean it's where you irreparably damage your ankle forever.
Oh god, that noise is just so bad. I always tell stories about how many awful decisions I've made. But how about one of my friend who I just met up with this weekend? Haven't seen him in like 7 years, right? Like I didn't even know that was possible. But I didn't see this dude in 7 years because I'm like, wow, I'm getting old. That's almost 10. And so I met up with them, and we're talking, we're having some beers and stuff. And he's like, hey, you remember when I jumped out of your mom's van while it was moving? And that seems like one of those decisions. So, okay, he was helping us out with the paper route, right? And so you drive with the doors open, and you throw papers and this and that. We got done with the route, and we're coming close to Dave's house. And Dave got the bright idea to jump out of the van while it was moving relatively quickly. Over 10 miles an hour, under 20 miles an hour, somewhere in that range. He tuck and rolled right out of the van. My mom just kept going because he looked all right. He got up, gave us 2 thumbs up, and so my mom just kept going back to the house.
These fingers are broken. Help! Come back.
So anyway, he said he was okay. He walked back inside. About 8 hours go by, and we get a knock at the door. And I open the door up. Dave has a cast on from the top of his hip all the way down to the bottom of his leg. He fractured a bone when he jumped out of the vehicle and just walked it off all the way up to his house, and then got taken to the hospital promptly after that. So that's kind of one of those broken bone things where it's a bad story. So don't jump out of moving vehicles, especially after paper routes, if Rita Cariotti is driving.
Your story, our emailer's story, reminded me of my dad broke his hand. We were ice skating, and he had a cell phone. It was back when they were like those fat gray ones, and he was falling, and he didn't want to break his cell phone, so he put his hand there to brace it when he fell. So he broke his fucking hand to protect his cell phone.
Did the cell phone make it?
Yeah, I think the cell phone was fine. His hand wasn't.
Motorola fingers.
Yeah.
Ike, what do you
something that started off as a good idea, but I ended up fucking myself up. Well, he didn't specify whether it's physical or not, so I think one thing that I started off as a good idea and ended up messing up was I started this podcast with these 2 other guys, and I just want to say, Hot Ass, you've inspired me to just.
He's finally done it. He's found out what's good for him.
Yeah. Those guys sound like assholes.
Why would you even hang out with those dudes?
With them anymore?
I understand. I understand how you feel like. I wake up and think the same things every day.
Have I told the broke my nose horse riding story on the show yet?
No, I would love to hear that.
I have no idea. So.
All right. So it was I was dating my last girlfriend. And she.
Wait! Did I meet this girl?
Yes.
Wait!
Pretty good.
What is sex like?
So she was an avid horse rider, and I enjoyed watching her. And her parents got this horse from the YMCA, a local YMCA. It was kind of like a rescue horse. They got it from the YMCA, and we were watching the horse for the weekend at their house while her parents were gone. And she's like, "Oh, we're gonna take the horse out." And I was like, oh, okay. So she takes it out to the front yard and she gets on it, and starts going around. She said it's very nice because the horse is used to riding with kids, so it's used to inexperienced riders, and she's trying to lead it around. She gets off. She's like, you should climb on it. And I'm like, but she's like, oh, come on. I was like, guys are stupid when it comes to women. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get on the horse. So I get on the horse, and she's telling me how to posture myself correctly, and she's leading it around by the reins, and I'm feeling pretty good. She's like, how about I let go of the reins? I'm like, how about you don't let go of the reins? She's like, I'm going to let go of the reins. You seem to have the posture right, and she lets go of the reins. Well, the horse decides that it's going to now bolt. And since we're in the front yard, the only real place to go is towards the street. So realizing that the horse is kind of going at a fast pace and I don't know how to control it, I decide that I'm going to bail off the horse. So as I'm also realizing that the distance I have between where the horse is on the grass and the pavement is also getting smaller, I have to do this quickly. So I decide, I kind of get ready and launch myself off the edge of the horse. But I timed it wrong and went face first, nose first, into the pavement. Broke my nose, I'm pretty sure, because it's still crooked to this day. It's like blood's like, like in anime cartoons where it shoots out when they see like a hot girl, except there was no hot girl. It's just like shooting out of my face.
The Master Roshi, we understand.
I ended up like spraying my wrist and hurting my road rash. It was pretty terrible.
But you took the horse out with you though, right?
And I didn't have any medical insurance at the time.
God.
So I'm not going to go to the emergency room because that would make sense but be stupid because it would be expensive. So I just sat in her house and slept on the couch with my arm kind of up by my side all night with like tissues near my face so my nose stopped bleeding. So my nose is permanently crooked a little bit to the left.
You can get that fixed. They have things nowadays.
Or they just take
a teacher's salary.
Yeah, what do you think he is, a police officer?
I use my new health insurance to get my nose straightened back 5 years later.
Elective surgery. You get put under the wire.
They don't cover that. If he had boner problems, they'd give him all the pills he wanted. But nose or anything like that, no.
So, I used to work in a pharmacy, speaking of boner problems, and I can't say any names.
This is not about yours.
But at one time, I worked at a pharmacy, and every Friday night, there would be this cart of dudes that would pull up and get, all their male problems fixed. Boner pills. They get all kinds of, Viagra, Cialis, whatever the other hell pills there are. And it was always 4 dudes in a car. They didn't look like outrageously gay or outrageously bear-ish. So I don't know where they were on the spectrum. I'm like, are these guys all having sex on their own? Are they always just planning to have a badass weekend with girls? And I always just wanted to wonder, I always just wanted to ask them, like, hey, so what are you guys doing? Like, can I come? Is this going to be fun or is this going to get weird?
Yeah, you fit right in.
You fit right in, big boy, as he's rubbing his belly button.
Right. Well, I can't back down now.
Yeah,
it would be embarrassing.
I'll try anything twice.
Yeah.
Not like this, Mommy. Oh, God. So, yeah.
So Eric, way at the beginning of the show, you were asking me why I was wondering about the history. So here's why I wanted to know. I wanted to know if my school could track me, or my account, I should say, because I actually turns out, while I was down in North Carolina, I was looking at my other Gmail accounts, and there were some logins from like Arkansas, Billerica, Missouri.
And
I don't know why some of these other logins were showing up. So I was just going to see if my school account had been compromised, but I changed the password anyway, along with a whole bunch of my other ones, which also I want to change the password for this just in case anything had ever been.
Yeah, we all got to learn how to use Google Plus admin stuff really well.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
Hopefully nobody will log into my emails anymore.
Yeah.
Except for me or you guys.
Yeah, I love logging into your emails and reading stuff.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend's getting so many good messages. Why do you keep sending me pictures of Joe's penis? This is awkward. So, have you guys just been watching the CES coverage at all?
Not really. I mean, I saw they announced a new Aliens game, which seems kind of interesting. I mean, I'm kind of cautious about it because the last one was Colonial Marines was a pack of horrible lies that they lied to us. But this one seems interesting because it's not an action game. It's a survival horror game. It's basically Amnesia, Dark Descent or Machine for Pigs. Only it's you walking around a space station and one alien is after you. So it's basically like, you don't have any weapons or anything, and you walking around going, "The alien, run away, hide in the shadows," kind of stuff. So that seems really interesting, and it's not handled by Gearbox because they're liars.
Because they're dirty liars, and their mother never loved them.
I was wondering if there's anything interesting about the Steam box out there.
Well, that's kind of what I've been focusing on lately. Do you guys think that Steambox is kind of like Android, and they're just letting the software go out there and let people design their own hardware?
Yeah,
and they're going to see what comes to the surface.
That's exactly what it is. They have the big screen mode. They're coming out with their own OS, and they're basically letting people build whatever they. That's why they're literally 14 different Steam boxes, which is ridiculous.
See, no, that's the thing. Is it ridiculous though? Because what Android did at first is, they just contracted HTC to make an awful phone for them, and then,
Yeah, but Android was an alternative to a brand of phone that didn't have much competition other than BlackBerry. Whereas this is, I can't go out and buy a bunch of parts and put together my own smartphone. But I can go to Newegg or Tiger Direct, build my own Steam box, and install the thing. I don't understand exactly, because I know you've been excited for it, but now you're
I've been excited for it. Yeah, of course.
And I've said from the beginning, I don't understand I don't really understand where this fits, because I don't see it destroying the console market, and I don't see people who are into PC gaming going like, "Oh man, finally I can pay for an overpriced PC that only plays games from Steam and nobody else."
Right, if I was gonna make a gaming computer that I wanted in my living room, I would just go make a silent computer and put it next to my computer and put it next to my screen.
I can just plug my my graphics card's got HDMI out, so I can plug that directly into my TV.
Right. So I'm wondering where's the transition here to, because Steam is trying to break into the living room. Yeah. I don't know if this is enough. This is their play into the living room. Do you think that this is enough? I personally don't, and I don't know what would be the best factor to get people into the living room and have that couch gaming experience. Is that I don't really think that's enough to get people to buy a Steam box. Well, and you can just download a version of Linux and play in big picture mode, and you have the whole Steambox experience.
Yeah, you can do that. But I think what they're trying to bank on is the Steam OS, which we know very little about because it's not really out, so it's hard to speculate. But as I said, I don't know who this is for, because I think people who love Steam, like we do, already have PCs and would rather just build bigger, better PCs. And people who don't like Steam or don't know what it is already have Xboxes. So why do they want a new thing that's not an Xbox?
So this is kind of bridging into our conversation from a few weeks ago. There needs to be a connector there saying, okay, I'm sick of getting screwed over by $60 games and non-stop updates, and the Steam box is great, and okay, this hardware is approved and it can work with Steam, but is that the bridge? Is that the motivation people need? Are console people going to get fed up and move over to Steam? Do you see that happening?
Oh, I doubt that, because I think the console market is clueless to most of the things. I think that's what keeps it running, is because people don't realize that, because console gaming is just barely getting into digital game sales, and they sell them for full price, and they never go down. An Xbox game will never, on the 360, never went down in price. And the same with the Nintendo now. They're getting with the eShop and stuff. I can download games on my 3DS, but they're full price, and they will always be full price. They're never going to drop the price down at all. So it's, I'm not saying that I think the Steam box is terrible and will never do well. I just think I don't understand where it fits especially now that there are gonna be so many different choices. It's not like go to the store and pick out the one Steam box. Now it's like go to this specialty computer shop and decide, and then they'll tell you to go to this internet link where you can decide which brand, and then there are 14 of. That's way too complicated.
That's the thing. Like, I still think it's a little bit too complicated for the average consumer to say, Xbox, PS4, or Steam box. You know, like, I don't think people are gonna ever get to that point because of there's so much hardware out there. People are just gonna get turned off to it.
Which is, I mean, it's sad because the idea of putting Steam in the living room is such a great idea because Steam is. One of the things, like, Steam doesn't have to compete or catch up with the Xbox because they already beat the Xbox. They just beat them on the PC. So if they could just enter there and they don't have to be better, they don't have to sell better than Xboxes, but they're already good. They're already fine, and they have the Steam library is so intensely massive, and the price of the games are so crazy that there's no reason.
But this kind of Android-like, where, like, okay, this is the framework. You can put whatever hardware you want on it, as long as it meets these requirements. Design your own, and the best stuff will come to the top. Like, I don't know if that works in a console when you're competing with two other big major players, and that's it. And I think maybe it would have made more sense for them to actually come out with a Steam box that is, this is it. This is what developers should be developing for. And this scares me to say it like this because I think it would stagnate a lot of PC gaming, maybe even slow down people's upgrade cycles, and then, add like, people wouldn't have the greatest gaming experience because developers would be developing for the Steam box would be a lower common denominator than a normal, like, high-end computer. But I think if they would have came out with one Steam box that was just kind of a mid to high-range gaming computer at that, like, same price point or even a little bit lower than the modern consoles, then we could be talking about something that could take over. But I just think there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt with all the different kinds of hardware, different kinds of platforms, and people just won't know where to start looking for this kind of stuff.
And one of the things I think that it has against it is I don't know much about what the Steam OS is going to offer, but I imagine it probably will have, like, Netflix and Hulu and HBO Go, which is if it doesn't, then it's dead in the water.
Right now it doesn't. Right now it's just basically a Linux that runs big picture mode.
Yeah, but you can run all of those things on a computer, so I imagine you could do all that stuff on this. That won't be a problem. The thing, because it would need that because, like, there's literally, like, when we were at Best Buy trying to buy a Blu-ray player because we got a third TV and we needed a Blu-ray player for the one in the living room. They don't sell Blu-ray players that don't have Netflix, which is crazy because, like, 5 years ago, whenever, when we got our Blu-ray player from my mom's TV, we bought one that we thought would run Netflix, but it didn't. So we had to, like, take it and exchange it for one that did. Now they literally all of them have apps. They're all connected to the internet. They all do this stuff, and we didn't even need that because we had a smart TV that did it already. So if it'll have to have that, but also, like, just things like will any of them have a Blu-ray player? Because if I wanted in the living room and I didn't already have a Blu-ray player, that would be a big sell for me because the Xbox and the PlayStation can have Blu-ray, and not that physical media is a big thing for me, but it is for some people.
Right. Like, I'm waiting to see. Like, I can see what would happen. Maybe this is a great strategy moving forward. Maybe the market will choose the best one to go with or the best two to go with, and maybe that one involves a Blu-ray player. I do see the thinking behind it, but I just don't think it's the most aggressive way to pursue the living room gaming experience. I
don't know. It's an oddity. It's not like anything out there. It's not like an Xbox. It's not quite a computer. We don't know much about it. There's a lot of information we don't know, so it's just this weird thing. So that I don't understand how it fits in anybody's life because I don't know.
See, but like, for me, I'm a cord cutter. I haven't had cable TV programming for a very long time. I mean, very long time in internet years, so like since 2007 or 2008. So like it's been actually a long time. And what I have next to my TV downstairs is just this little, it's called an Intel NUC, N-U-C. And it's just this little i3 with a couple gigs of RAM and a small little hard drive on it that I basically use as a internet browsing machine, Netflix player, Hulu watcher, Daily Show watching, it's just, and that's all I do with it. And it would be really nice if in that computer, that little teeny computer, look it up, it's an Intel NUC, and it comes all the way from i3 processors all the way to i7 processors, but I have the cheap i3 one. But it would be great if I could play games on that with a little controller and do that, and I would use it like that.
Yeah, they have plenty of stuff. Like I have a friend who has a Roku box. I have a friend who has an Apple TV. They have that kind of stuff. They're sort of like slight computer, but not quite full computer.
Yeah,
thing.
And this thing runs Windows 8.1, and I can get if I wanted a gaming computer for my living room, I would look at a Steam box and say, okay, yeah. But I don't see a lot of people like, you know what I need? A computer in my living room. It's more like, you know what I want? I really would like to watch Netflix on my old TV that isn't a smart TV. And then somebody goes buys a Roku box, or they just stream it on their Xbox 360, or whatever other device.
$10 a month which is the fucking worst thing about that.
I know.
You have to pay them to access Netflix, which is a free service everywhere else.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Fuck that.
I know. That's why I'm fed up. I am so fed up. I pretty much made the decision that I'm not going to buy one of these new consoles because I just feel like they just keep fucking the consumer, and I'm sick of being fucked. I get fucked by big companies all the time. If I can control it, I'm not going to get fucked by big companies. So that's why I'm not going to buy a next-gen console. I'll stick with my PC, be part of the master race. Maybe I'll pick up a Steam box. But there's just no reason for me to go that way for a living room gaming experience. I want the Steam box to succeed so bad, but I'm not sure why or what I can get excited about. That's my main argument, or my main gripe here. What am I supposed to be excited about?
You're like, it's Steam, and I love Steam, and they're doing something, and I want it to be good, but I don't understand what it is, so I don't know how it's going to be good.
Yeah, send me a sales pitch deck, and I will sell it. I will go and tell the masses.
Yeah, because I thought, when I read, they announced the Steam box finally. It's like, oh, we're going to find out what it is? Oh, no, we just found out that there's going to be 14 of them.
Here's 14 things that run Linux.
Here's 14 artist renditions of something that doesn't exist yet, and the stats of all the PC components that are inside of it. It's like, but what is it?
Please, and they have released people are in the Steam OS beta and things like that, and I've seen it in use in real life, but it's nothing to be so excited about. There's nothing there that's like I said, there's no hooks to kind of get the console gamers that are on the fence into the Steam community and part of the Steam gamer, Yeah, I want them to be part of the community. Maybe I don't, though. Maybe I like being elitist.
Yeah, because I was talking to a friend. He just got his Xbox One, and he was like, "Yeah, he was telling me he got Dead Rising, he got Rise, which he didn't like so much. And he's like, and I got Battlefield 4, and he was like, literally the first 30 seconds of playing Battlefield 4, someone killed me and then called me gay. He used the other word for it, but I was like, Jesus, see, that's why you stay on the PC, because a
Fagosaurus.
Yeah,
that's what he called you.
Yeah, it's like yeah, that's why Battlefield's a PC game for me.
Yeah, I liked Battlefield. When I played the beta, it was actually a really fun game. I'm not going to pay $60 for something I have to launch in my browser, though.
Yeah, that's what I hate about Battlefield 3.
Luckily, I just can't win with you, Joe. First, you don't want my console that can hook up to your TV because you can do it on Linux, and then you don't want my browser game.
It pissed me off. If somebody bought me a copy,
it's ridiculous. The Battlefield 3 is ridiculous. Battlefield 4 is the same kind of ridiculous. That it doesn't have menus it launches in browser, and that's how you find games and even start the campaign. It's silly.
If it wasn't fucking buggy as shit, I would love it.
It doesn't work too.
Yes, if it worked great, like, I would totally say, oh, okay, that's just a new way of doing it. They're doing it to track stats and stuff. I get why you do
they're
it.
They're doing it for piracy, because it's hard to pirate a game that you have to launch in your browser.
Right, which is fine. Okay, perfect, whatever. That's how you're dealing with it. Great. But it didn't work right. And this is why I stopped playing Counter-Strike at like 1.5. When they went to Steam, Steam was shit. It was buggy as hell. So I remember stopped playing Counter-Strike for years.
I've said this before. I was huge into Counter-Strike, but moreover, the original Day of Defeat. And then when 1.6 came out, and my server for Day of Defeat switched to Steam, I loaded up Steam, but my computer couldn't run the Steam version of the game, so I just stopped playing for like 5 years until I finally got Source, because it came free with Half-Life 2, and then I tried Steam. I was like, oh, this is good now.
Oh, they changed it. Now it's great. I love it. But before, I mean, like, and that's what I'm hoping the innovation comes through iterations, right? Like, they just keep making it better. They're Steam and Valve and all these companies. They're software companies, and they're kind of releasing hardware like software, which is oftentimes a misstep. So I think right now they did it the smartest way possible by actually outsourcing the software to these hardware companies and said, have at it, and we'll see what flows to the top. And then maybe once they get some good market research down, they'll be like, oh, yeah, Steam Box, now we know what to build. And then they come out with the Steam Box, maybe.
But I'm still
kind of like Google comes out with the phone, you know? Now Google makes the Nexus stuff, and, you know, that's what I'm hoping.
Though, that not many people have even been known about this or talking about this. There's a Square Enix game that Square Enix not only asked Steam to pull from sale, but to pull from the libraries of people who bought it, and they did. So I don't remember what the game was, but there's this big hullabaloo like a week or two ago where Steam literally pulled it from your library, even if you owned it, and people were super pissed, obviously. And then to get a refund, they didn't just like give everyone a refund. You have to like go through all these steps and email a bunch of people and HR people and like confirm like here's the receipt, blah blah blah, to get a refund, and it's only in Steam credit and stuff like that. And nobody's talking about like this is the biggest should be like the biggest fucking thing, because this is something that Steam said they would never do, and they fucking did it.
What I mean, like. What would make the situation better, though? They just apologize, or how do they fix the situation?
Well, the idea that they can pull a game from my library that I bought because the company doesn't want me to have it anymore is ridiculous. I know they have the legal right, but and this is a thing about ownership now. Nobody owns anything anymore, or we're no matter how much money we pay them, we're just licensing the ability to use the game for as long as they decide to let us use the game.
Have you guys? This is a question from our chatters out in YouTube land over there, because we stream the show live every week. Look for our on our Twitter and things like that, and our Google Plus page actually has all of our information. But have you guys heard anything about the cryptocurrencies, the Dogecoin and Kanye West, and that kind of stuff?
No.
I haven't really been paying attention. I know 4chan's always talking, like when Bitcoin fell apart. Now they're doing all about Dogecoin.
Well, no, Bitcoin's back over $1,000 now.
Oh, I don't give a shit. But it reminds me, I just finished reading this book. There's this book I read a couple of years ago, Saturn's Children, about a sex robot 500 years after the extinction of the human race. And I just read the guy wrote a sequel, Neptune's Brood. But it's all about, like, it's not sex, it's like thousands of years past the first one, and it's about bankers. But they have, like, a new kind of currency called slow money, and they occasionally call it, like, Bitcoin, because it's connected to, like, your identity and personality. It's all completely, like, digital. But, like, I was like, that's funny. It's a good book. I recommend it, Neptune's Brood.
And what's funny with like these cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin and Kanye West or Kanye, like it's just people like they're using the same like Litecoin. Am I just talking to you guys? You have no idea what I'm talking about?
No,
like,
I understand. It's the same stuff as Bitcoin. It's a currency invented on the internet to buy and sell drugs.
Okay, not just drugs though. You could tip people, and actually on Overstock.com, they're taking Bitcoin now, and like money is his
last album you could buy with Bitcoin.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Money is as real as you make it, right? Like, it could be tied to anything.
Look, I'm not judging anybody. I went on the GameFAQs forums to find somebody who their Animal Crossing town was buying bells at a high price. I bought bells for I bought turnips for 108 bells a piece. I bought 300 turnips. That's a lot of money. That was over 30,000 bells worth of turnips. And I found somebody. I was like, I want to sell these, but the price kept dropping in my town. Like, she was like, I'll offer you 77 bells a turnip. I was like, that's ridiculous. I'm losing money. And then I went to GameFAQs, and some guy's like, my town, they're going for 548. So I basically got 5 times my money out of this relatively small investment. So I made some dough. I tipped the guy pretty well. I basically gave him a fifth because it wasn't a ton of money, and he didn't expect it, but he was thankful. And then I used the money to finish building the Dream Suite. So I'm good.
So
paid off my mortgage a little bit.
Your cryptocurrencies is all an Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I get it. I go on the internet and I buy and trade turnips so that I can pay off a Tanuki who I owe a lot of money to.
Don't fuck with Tanuki. But okay, but what I wanted to get across with all these cool currencies that are just popping up out of nowhere, so Reddit made like Dogecoin and Kanye West and things like that, and we have Bitcoin and they're starting to kind of pick up popularity, and they're just as real as the currencies, the fiat currencies that we have now in the U.S. that aren't backed by anything. There's really, we can make our own.
All the stability of memes on the internet.
The U.S. dollar, it has stability because we believe in it. If we all just were like,
yes,
if we just started calling the U.S. dollar
but
Dogecoin.
If the U.S. dollar fails, I could still use things that I bought with it to, I could sell these books that I bought with real currency. Yes, you're right, but there's a government involved in backing it, and a lot of people invested in making sure that our fictional pieces of paper made from the scraps of jeans is actually worth something. I understand that money only has value when we believe it, but 6 billion people believe in it, so I think it'll be okay.
Okay, you can buy with Bitcoin. I looked at a search. 10 surprising things you can buy with Bitcoin. Ready? Here we go. You could buy socks. You could buy this shirt from somethinggeeky.com. A vacation in France, Nice, spelled nice. You could buy candy at statelesssweets.com. You could buy all the essentials with Bitcoin. A Tiffany vase.
Yeah, and
barbecue.
You can get Snoop Dogg's latest album.
Survival gear for when the American dollar falls apart. Then you could just use Bitcoin in your survival axe.
Also drugs. Did you mention drugs? Because you can buy a lot of drugs. That's what it was invented for. Anonymous.
Eliminate pet odor with these horse treats with Bitcoin.
Also drugs. You go on Darknet and you buy lots of drugs because that's its real purpose is so that people can buy and sell drugs anonymously without bank transactions.
So I think that's how it started. But who's to say Bitcoin? If somebody wanted to give us a Bitcoin, I wouldn't say no.
I'm not judging.
You buy drugs, Joe?
I don't know what I would buy. You could actually put a hit out on me.
Look, a lot of people made a lot of money. I don't judge people who do it. Like the Kennedys are only rich because they sold drugs. That's how most people. White people got rich. The reason why white people are so rich is because we sold drugs for a while. And now that minorities are trying to get rich selling drugs, we're like, we're against that. But we did that too, so it's fine. People made a bank selling booze and stuff and killing cops in the 1920s. Whatever. Use your bitcoins to whatever. I don't care. Buy your cocaine or salvia or whatever the fuck the kids do. I don't give a shit.
So I think it's really interesting that people are making up cryptocurrencies with funny meme names, and I hope to continue seeing them. But I don't know,
it's more stable than the euro. So
I don't know. the €1 is worth $1 and like 50 cents, $1 and 50 cents right now.
Yeah, today in 3 weeks when the economy collapses, fuck that.
As long as everyone realizes.
Yeah, sure. It's worth $1.05, but it's still everything's more expensive. Like in Ireland, games cost $150.
Dude, you don't have to tell me. I spent like $10 on one croissant. Like $10. It was a one croissant. It was really good, but it's just dough and chocolate. So I understand. All right. So what I'm saying is, I'm investing all my retirement, my retirement and pension funds and everything, instead of into like a 401k retirement plan. I'm just going to send it all to Bitcoin and Twitter ad revenue. That's what I'm going to do.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. My friend Jack tweeted, converting all my money to Bitcoins, converting all my Bitcoins to hentai.
I like your friend Jack. You should plug him.
He's good. He works at Funny or Die. He's a writer / director there. He's
Ooh. And he has good suggestions for TV shows, it sounds like.
Oh, no. No, I mean, I don't know.
Wait, you have more than one friend?
Yeah. Well, this guy was... This guy is a friend in that for the past 6 months, me and 6 other people forced him to show up to a house in Atwater Village and listen to us read our shitty sketches. Well, I mean, we paid him $60 total each week.
You paid him to be your friend?
Yeah, basically. So
weekly?
We basically, yeah, I guess. I mean,
it's like a whoring your friendship out.
LA is like crazy, like Hollywood. Like, even their friends get benefits. That's crazy.
Nothing's free.
Nothing's free. And you said like, Euro was nuts. Like in LA, you have to pay $60 just to hang out with your friend.
Yeah, well, the friends that are more successful than you that can hopefully someday get you a job. That's why you pay. It's not like I'm just like, hey, you seem cool. We have similar interests. Here's $60. No, you pay people that are funnier than you. Like I've done that before. Jack Allison, who's I just mentioned, my friend Sarah Claspell, Betsy Sidero, who was they're all really hilarious, and I paid them a lot of money to be my friend.
So when do you guys start paying me?
When can you get me a job in the industry?
Well, I can't get you a job in the industry.
Exactly.
I oftentimes came to you with plenty of harebrained schemes to make you money, and you're like, no, I'm going to be a comedian. I'm like, that's a dumb idea. You'll never make money.
Like, I got it. You move to Michigan. We'll both live in a tiny apartment together, and we'll try and sell the things that defog.
We're gonna sell Cutco knives.
No, it's not even that. It's like we're gonna go door to door and sell the cream that you can buy at any gas station to defog headlights. It's a big business. We're gonna make it. I was like, that sounds no. That's no.
I did not say that, but there was something.
You tried to start that business. That was the one that you were so excited about you didn't want me involved in. You're like, I'm going to do this myself.
This one's all mine. I'll never share it with Eric or Ike.
Especially not people are too lazy. Literally over the phone, he was like, people are too lazy to do this, and it's dangerous. You just go to the door, and you're like, hey, for like $5, I'll $20, I do this, make you safer.
Dude, that was honestly the darkest point in my entire life when I was pitching that idea. And it really was the... like almost rock bottom. That was at the point
you were living in your parents' basement, and you're going door to door in the middle of suburban Michigan, asking people to pay you $20 to rub this weird solution that you bought at a gas station on their headlights.
It's you're cleaning oxidation off their lights, and that was a premium service. God damn it! I would sand and wash their headlights and make sure the oxidation wouldn't reappear for at least 6 months. No one hustles like Joe Cariotti, goddammit! Come at me, bro! Oh, God. This spiraled out of control. What were we even talking about?
I don't know, Bitcoin?
Money's the root of all evil, especially Bitcoin.
Exactly. Well, I think it's time we stop talking about all this horse shit and start plugging each other.
Yes, finally.
My plug for this week, I don't know. Watch Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, I guess. It's a funny show, and you should watch it because it's funny.
Okay,
It's got
guys.
some really funny people in it.
My plug for this week.
It's got Eric Andre and this dude whose name I don't know, but he's on the UCB house team, A Kiss from Daddy, and he's hilarious.
Are you done plugging your things?
Yes, but when you start talking again, I'll probably talk over you anyways. It's a twitch. If I don't do it, I will literally drown in my own fluids.
Eric's nervous twitch is talking over people.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Okay.
Okay.
Now that we got that out of the way, I'm afraid to start talking now. My plug for this week is called AutomationGame.com. If you love cars as much as I do, then you're going to love this game because, oh, God. Can you guys see that little video that's going on right now?
Kind of.
What about when I do this? It doesn't matter. So anyway, what you do in this is the game is not out yet, and it is still in the early development phases, but you can support the developers by going to automationgame.com. It's a really awesome game where you're actually making your own engines. You start off. It's basically like a tycoon game. Like you start off with your car company in like 1930 or 1955 or whatever, and then you start with just like some 4-cylinder engines, and you put the parts on there, and you adjust your compression ratios, and you change your cam timing, and you're putting together different platforms, and it's just awesome. Right now the game is in, like I said, it's in its early stages, and I'm just really excited, and I really hope that the game progresses. But there's a demo.
Sorry, it's been a while since I talked over anybody.
There's a demo at automationgame.com that you can go check out and kind of get a feel for it. It might be a little too advanced for some people. For me, I absolutely loved it. I even learned a couple of things, and I made a really tiny, like a 1.3 liter V8 engine that was supposed to be like for an economic car, but it was awesome. So go check it out, automationgame.com. I can't say enough good things about it, except that it's not out yet. So, Ike, what do you got to plug?
I want to plug thewikigame.com. If you're ever bored and looking for something to do, go play thewikigame.com. The premise of it is it gives you a starting point on Wikipedia and an end point. For example, right now it's Gran Torino, the film, is the start point, and the goal is to get to Vermont. So you hit play now, and it will start you off on Gran Torino, and you have to see how many clicks it can take you to get from Gran Torino to Vermont.
Gran Torino. Okay. Oh, God, this is going to take a... I know Scott Eastwood was from Vermont. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know that. That'd be really funny if I just had that little nugget of knowledge, though. If you want to be part of the show, you can. Send us an email. Our email address is theshow@justcoolenough.com. Again, the email address is theshow@justcoolenough.com. We love to hear from you. We got 2 great emails this week and a couple of shitty ones. We'd like to see more great emails and even more shitty ones so we can parse through them. You can watch us live on our YouTube channel. Go to justcoolenough.com for all those kind of details. And you should, like, I think Google Plus is, like, picking up. So maybe, like, give us, like, a +1 if you see, like, a Just Cool Enough thing. We only have, like, +3 right now, and we need to get, like, +500 because that's how good we are.
You basically explaining Google Plus to me is like when you were talking about the engine. I just kind of like zoned out. I don't fucking understand it. It doesn't make any sense.
That's if you like Automation Game, you'll love Google Plus.
Ugh, these guys, you guys are boring. It's like my game's one where you build engines. It's like mine's where you research some high schooler's paper on Wikipedia.
Have you played Papers, Please? Because I love it.
I have, and that's a fun game.
Right. So what you talk about Papers, Please. I'll talk about building engines in a car company, and I can talk about Wikipedia Game.
Yeah, but Papers, Please is satire and commentary, and it's fun and kind of funny, and it's boring on purpose in a way, but not, and stuff.
Supposed to
you guys
teach
are you're just giving them homework is what you're doing. Like, hey, research this paper and also do some calculus because that's what engine building is.
I made this really sweet V4 where it was like a 4-liter 4-cylinder, and every time each cylinder went. All right, so if Eric's not here, I'll take the. Oh crap! I was gonna say
for a second.
I was gonna take the reins and sign off the show really nicely. And not say, like the fuck word.
Okay, well, you can follow me at Twitter at Duncor, D-U-N-C-O-R, which is right here somewhere on the screen if you're watching the live version.
You can follow me on whatever you want. Just Google Speedia40 and I'll pop up on Facebook, Twitter, and all the other great social media things that are available.
And don't follow me.
Don't follow. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Ike says get off my lawn.
Yeah, Ike's all like, see you guys next week and fuck off.
It was so tight.
Ike was like that. I didn't say it.